Okay, these are doing the back brakes for a 2001 S-10 Chevy Pickup truck. Okay, so we're going to jack it up, and we're putting right directly underneath the differential or rear end, whatever you want to call it. And there's one. Okay, so both of the jacks are in place, and now just slowly let it down. There it is. Okay, it's safe enough for me. So if I'm going to take these rotors off, split it. Good old WD-40 does the trick. Okay, so what we're going to do is take off the rear caliper here first. There's two bolts, one here, one over here, and this happens to be a 12. So remember, take it off counterclockwise. And let's loosen the other one on the bottom. There's one. Okay, there's the top one. Now, here comes the caliper. We'll just set that off to the side. And here's one of the pads. As you can see, it's getting close to where the warning wear bar is. And there's the other one, the secondary one. Okay, so looking at this rotor, it doesn't seem to need anything. I mean, it's got little tiny grooves in it, which means nothing. It's not worth the expense to take it off, but we'll show you how to take it off anyway. Now we want to take the bracket off, so this happens to be a 15. There's two bolts. Okay, there's the top one. Okay, so that's the bracket for the brake assembly. Okay, here's your the rotor itself. Now here is the emergency brake. You'll see that it still has quite a bit, and I'm not going to touch that. I'll leave that alone. But if you look at this rotor, I don't see hardly any damage whatsoever on this rotor on this side, and none on this side at all. So what I'm going to do is just use the same rotor over again. Okay. If we would have taken the two bolts off and just lift this totally off, this is what we would have seen. So once again, the pads just come right off, nothing to it. And since they were nice enough to give us new clips, might as well use their new clips. And here's one exactly like it is. So then it just fits right back in there. Push this right in place. Just like that. And we can do the other one. Do exactly the same thing. Sneaking it over there, putting it over here, and there you go. Now, I'm going to use this brake grease. Just a little bit, don't need too much. Put some over here and over here on the ends. And I will just slip this one in. There's one. I'll do this side. And there we go. There's our assembly. So what we'll do is carefully just put this right over the top, hook this into the bracket, and we'll have the brakes all set, ready to go on the car. Okay, so I want to just clean the rotor. Once again, I just use a conventional gasoline. Let me do the other side. Okay, now that we have assembled that, we'll just drop it right in place, just like that. Away we go. One bolt on the top, and one bolt on the bottom part of the bracket. Remember, we go clockwise to tighten. Okay, and then there we go. All done, ready to go. Okay, the next thing is we want to compress this cylinder. So, nice and gently. Alright, so just going to use a big pair of pliers and just squeeze it down. Just go slow, because remember, that fluid is coming out of the cylinder and it's going all the way back to the master cylinder. Okay, so I think that's enough. So just give it a trial. Looks like it's more than enough. Okay. The other thing I want to do is replace this little bracket. since they gave us a new one. So it just goes right in there. Fits right in place. Okay, we're going to stop. Okay, so I'm going to put some disc brake quiet on here. Okay. Put it on the back side. Then I'll take the caliper, just gently put it right over the top, right where it belongs. I will take my 2 bolts. Put a wheel on it. So this is a number 12. Clockwise to tighten. Okay, there it is, all in place. All in place. Got the 2 bolts here for the calipers and the 2 in the back for the bracket. And we took the rotor off, but we're going to leave the same rotor, so we're done with this side. Okay, so what I want to do is spray this rotor, because it's been on here for a long time, and give that a chance to penetrate as we take off the caliper. Okay, so we're going to take the okay, there's the lower one. Now we just twist this a little bit. And there it comes. Just push that off to the side. And here's our 2 brakes, the pads. So since we're going to show how to take the rotor off, we're going to take the bracket off. The bracket bracket's just 2 bolts in the back. And there's our bracket. Bracket with the disc brakes. So let's go and put the clips on. Okay, so here we go. We changed these clips since they gave it to us. And they just snap right in, one side, other side. perfect. And then we'll take a little bit of brake grease. Don't need too much. John it over here, over here, over here, and over here. There's one side, and here's the other side. And there we go. Then we'll just drop this assembly in. Okay, so I'm going to put some of this disc quiet on. And I'll just put it over here, and over here. And this side is where the piston runs. There we go. Okay, so to take the rotor out, just pull it off, nothing to it. And over here is the emergency brake. But since the rotors show absolutely nowhere, we're going to use the same rotors. Here I want to put the brakes on. I'm just going to drop this whole assembly right in here. And there's a bolt that goes to the top. And a bolt that goes to the bottom of the bracket. And once again, to tighten it is clockwise. Tighten the bottom one. And tighten the top one. Squeeze these together. Go over here on the caliper and squeeze that together. Bring it over here. And just slowly squeeze. It'll slowly go in. Let me just adjust this. Nice and easy. Okay, that seems to be enough. Get the spider webs out of there. I want to change this top plate. Alright, so now we'll put this new plate on. We'll put this new one on since they gave it to us. Just slides right in. And pushes right in place. As you can see, it fits really nice. Okay, so now we just take the caliper, put it right over the top, in place. Got two bolts, upper one. And then we have the lower one over here. And this happens to be a number 12. So that's all done. Now, I'm not going to bother breathing the brakes because we didn't open anything up. There's no air exposed, nothing. All you do is squeeze it back. So we really don't need to bleed them. Okay, pump the brakes. So here's what we're going to do. Alright, now hold them all the way down. You can put a rag there. And you'll see clear fluid coming. No bubbles, no nothing. That's where you know it's all set. So then you tighten it back up and you're done. That's how you bleed the brakes. Okay, so basically you see that it came up even over the maximum because we squeezed the back cylinders too. So as the brakes wear out, the cylinders will expand a little bit more and the fluid will go back down to maximum level. Okay, once again I put oil here on the studs. So after we did the entire whole brake system, or the back brake system, now that we did the back brakes, see, and we pumped them and it came down just a little bit, but not much. So this is pretty close to being maximum, or above the maximum, so it's okay. Now remember, as we tighten these, we're going to go in a star pattern. Then we have these little decorative caps. And the job is done.